lower body, upper body, but he was early, so he did same thing. Right. So you want to see hips, arms, right? So it's like a deadlift, and I asked you a question, don't know the answer. Don't know.
So when they leave, the goal is that they're a better coach than they were when they walked in on Saturday morning, and they've got some things to work on. Well, they would have had things to work on over the weekend. The goal is over the weekend they can work on those things, and then we give them some more things to think about over the next 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. Sometimes there's so much information, so much to think about, and like they'll be taking a class 12 months later and just something will click, something they remember from the level 2, something that maybe Andy said or I said or somebody else said, and they can start to implement that into their coaching. So the goal is to give them enough to last in the next couple of years. That's the goal.
Welcome to... Oh, that's going to just keep playing. Okay, cool.
Ready and deadlift.
How do I get rid of that now? Let's go to this one, will we?
Guess what happens on a...
Oh, that's better. Sorry, that was on a loop. Welcome to day 2 of the French Throwdown. We've got Andy Edwards, UK and Ireland country manager. I nearly said something else there. Yeah. We still got Johnny Davies. I've renamed this stream a Watchalong to deter. Someone commented on the stream yesterday and said a chicken would do better commentary. I was like, all right, thanks. Well, I actually said book in response. I don't know what else to say. I got our elite females are taken to the field or the floor. Johnny, the workout is sponsored by Abilites, and it's, what is it? Give us.
What is the workout?
Yeah,
it's for time. It's a little chipper, I guess. 90 heavy rope double unders, and then it's the 30-meter handstand walk, which is about 100 foot, give or take. 60 GHD sit-ups, and then another 30-meter handstand walk, another 90 double unders with a heavy rope, 60 toes to bar, so a lot on the midline at this point, and then 90-meter handstand walk again. Then it finishes with the 90 heavy rope double under. 30 meters. So it's a lot on the midline with the GHD and the toes to bar and the handstand walk. So that'll be the test of this workout.
I have a masters athlete that's competing in it and has had a go at the double unders, and with the actual heavy drag rope, I actually think what she tried to achieve was in like broken sets, because it does take its time or toll on the shoulders. I've never had a go at one really. I've done a couple of the other branded drag ropes. Are they heavy ropes or drag ropes or both?
I think they're heavy, aren't they?
Heavy? Yeah.
So drag ropes are light, but hit the wind, like they're not as aerodynamic basically, so it's harder. It's slower.
So do they just...
It drags in the air, and heavy is literally weighted.
So it's... Yeah. People use these different ropes depending on what mood they're in, or just whatever competition the size.
It's a
stimulus, right?
Do you think that so when you're doing drag ropes, isn't it more of a, you can't be wristy as much as you will be with a normal skipping rope? Can you still be wristy with a heavy rope, or do you have to?
You have to use your wrists. Otherwise, it's just too slow. The drag rope has no bearings on it. It's just a thicker rope and it's just attached to the handle. So the bearings don't help you spin the rope. The heavy rope, the one that they're using, if it's the same one that we've used before, the handle is weighted and the cable is weighted.
Yeah. I think the Litas ones, the founder was on my show last week, please subscribe. And he said that you can actually insert and take out different amounts of weights. Which is
you can. When you buy them, you can buy different weighted cables, different lengths, different handles, and then different weights to go in the handle. So I'm not sure what setup they've got here, but it'll be a weighted handle and a weighted rope. Yeah.
It's less movement with
Yeah, you have to use your shoulders and your elbows a little bit more, yeah.
Wow, look at that, she's doing GHDs properly.
You don't see that often these days, yeah.
Isn't it?
Usually they're either jammed to the front or jammed off the back.
Seth Page was on the World Fitness Project thing yesterday and said, so the World Fitness Project had GHDs with no standard. It was like, do whatever you want. And he kind of said, he made a valid point of professional athletes or athletes who want to be professional. She's very far up there.
Nah, she's pulling herself up.
Yeah, so he was like, if there's no standard, you need to find out what's fastest. If there is a standard, you need to find out how to do that fastest. And you just need to have an arsenal of...
Yeah, exactly. If there's no standard, you're in
That's gonna-
competition.
That's going to absolutely wear out the midline. So that might have. I mean, she was pulling herself excessively up with the knees. It'd be interesting to see what that has an effect on those toes to bar.
But does that not take it out of your abdomen if you're pulling yourself forward?
Well, I mean,
just the hip flexors,
the hip flexor and the quad has been used quite aggressively. If you think on the toes to bar, they generally, no one's doing them with straight legs anymore, are they? So
yeah,
you get that cycle time up. I mean, I think my back would probably snap now at the age I'm at with doing it like this.
Do you ever program half rep GHDs?
For 25 to build capacity up in the midline.
I did. There was GHDs in a workout, Sentinel training. You can sign up at trainsentinel.com. And there's GHDs, and the scale was half rep. And I was like, God, I don't think I've ever done a GHD. But there's a GHD in the gym I was in, so I was like, screw it, I'll do it. So I did. I was about like maybe 20 reps in, and I stopped at the top, and I was like, hang on a minute. Isn't GHDs like synonymous with rhabdo, where people think it's fine and then it's bad? So I stopped, and I started doing the scale, which was half reps. It's way harder.
Did your bollocks swell up?
No.
Okay. No, you did do them properly then.
Okay. But you get to a point, like, it's because you have to stop, like the GHD, you can just kind of flop back. You know, you can lower, you don't have to lower with control. I mean, you probably should, but I didn't.
Oh, so what you mean you went parallel and had to stop halfway down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is harder because, it's harder in terms of you've got to slam the brakes on halfway down.
And hold yourself, and then you do that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but there's way more range of motion and that. In the range of motion and a full range of motion GHD sit-up, your abs won't go through that in any other movement, really. So that's why it's so, that's why it's so potent. It's like, it's hard to train that extension of the trunk, if you like, if you don't do full range of motion GHD sit-ups. But because people use the legs to bring them back up, because the abs work on the way down, the hip flexors and the quads bring you back up, you don't really feel in your abs too much if your abs are relatively strong. So then you go, oh, I feel fine. I'm going to do 50 more. Now I'm going to do 50 more. And then everyone knows 2 days later, you can't stand up straight or get out of bed. You got to roll sideways to get out of bed, you know?
Or you're Kale Lehman in the hospital with rhabdo.
Or you might be Kale Lehman and be in hospital with rhabdo. That is another potential
Allegedly.
side effect, yeah.
Allegedly. So got a 15-minute time cap. Do you, like, this is a qualifier for the CrossFit Games. Do you think that at this level we should have unbroken handstand walks for like a longer distance rather than, like, is the handstand walk, I don't see anybody at this level failing a handstand walk, especially say the top 5, top 6. Should they just make it longer to force someone to skirt a line of, oh, I need to come down, or I need to wait a minute?
Well, yeah, no, I think taking that into consideration, but what you would find then is that maybe they would move through the workouts fast. So after the double unders or the GHDs or the toes to bar, they would take more of a rest in order to then be able to guarantee that they wouldn't fall over. So I think those who've got the capacity to go unbroken can and will. Whereas, you know, it depends on what your objective is. So that workout would probably come down to a handstand walk workout rather than the whole complete 3 exercises put together in terms of, you know, that fatigue, etc.
It's Holly Tynan on your left.
Shake out those shoulders. The interesting thing with this is, right, the equipment is provided by the manufacturer, and while not everyone will have access to the Velite's rope, you know, each rope on other manufacturers is going to be slightly different. So it'd be interesting to see, like, how I quite like it when manufacturers just put them in, because I think it's really good to challenge the unknown and the unknowable.
Do you remember, was it Madrid 2 years ago? That was the first time I heard of Velite's, and they did that adaptive rope, you know, it's like
with the bar that goes across with the rope either side.
They had to do double unders. I can't remember, was it 60 double unders, and then they had a window to do that and clean and jerk.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the workout.
Yeah,
that
was a bit
cool.
That was a bit gimmicky though. I mean, I like watching it. I was like, this
Yeah.
is.
I think it's a fine line between testing fitness and variance, and
That's probably the same with the handstand walk as well. If they made them walk down and pirouette and come back or something, then you're getting into almost gimmick, where it's like this.
It depends. Like, the handstand walk is there to, like, you go back to level 1, you talk about 10 general physical skills, coordination, accuracy, agility, and balance. It's there to to test those components, and you have to test that if you want to test fitness. I think adding a pirouette and maybe making them turn, you could make this maybe 15 meters with a pirouette and walk back. But again, then you're testing a bit more of a bias of a handstand walk compared to overall capacity with a workout that includes handstand walks and GHDs. This workout is basically testing the midline with the toes to bar and the GHDs and how well you can breathe your way through it in the handstand walk. So I think having the handstand walk, which is pretty high volume, if you look at the total, I think it's a good test of fitness, and it fits into the other 4 workouts we've seen as well. You have to look at the whole 8 workouts over the weekend, not just 1 or 2 in isolation. And I think this one fits in very, very well. And I think that whoever does well until this point, you're looking at a very well-rounded athlete.
Yeah.
And then you look at the next test, the snatches, I believe. That's another something we haven't really seen so far. So it's a well-rounded test, and the workout is just classic CrossFit. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the box, just classic CrossFit testing different components of fitness.
Once you get to this stage, into like the toes to bar and stuff, there is a possibility that the toes to bar fairy will just come in and stop it. So it's managing volume once you get down to this part as well. I think breathing's got a massive impact on this one, because if you have a look at all of those exercises, for the vast majority, the full body's all tensed up, right? And obviously that midline is under demand, and so it's like you have to try and get your breathing under control, because if you run out of gas or hit red line too much, I mean, with a toes to bar, even with a handstand walk, there's a tendency for and even on that double under, the coordination element goes, you're gonna get super frustrated, and that leads on to other things then. I mean, I'm talking about a mere mortal here, not these people at the elite level, obviously.
So coming up on 5 minutes left, Sarah Massoni. I know her name because it was written behind her on the screen.
She's gone for an unbroken one. Oh no, it's red line to red line, sure.
Yeah. Although some of them, I thought I saw a girl kicking out on the white line.
They're 2 meter squares, right? So it's 10 meters. Yes, yeah. So it's red line to red line. So they have to do 10 meters unbroken. Yeah. But I guess if they come down, do they have to go back to the red line? I don't know. I've not seen that.
We might see here with this girl on the right. No. Does this have a big impact? So yesterday, Andy, we had 100 wall balls and then strict wall facing handstand push-ups. And then first thing this morning, you have a ton of midline, a bit more shoulders. And then after this, you have heavy as well.
The accumulation of fatigue is going to happen throughout the weekend, but the kind of level that these athletes train at, they'll be able to manage that.
Do you think anybody picks up the first bar and goes, oh, crap?
They pick up the first bar on the warm-up area, and then they'll be like, oh, it's going to be a long day or not. I always find with something like a handstand walk and a handstand push-up, like you can generally get away with doing them in the same session. It's just because like you've obviously got your locked out arm, you're not using your triceps as much. It's more of the skeletal structure on the handstand walk, whereas the wall facing ones were probably a little bit more demanding because of the type of volume that was involved within this competition. And so, it is going to have an effect. I think most of the effect is going to happen on those double unders going straight up into those handstand walks.
So we got skeletal structure. If we can get sagittal plane in here at some point, it would be absolutely fine.
Those hands are moving in that sagittal plane, right?
Organic.
Yeah.
Her leggings are bizarre. They had like paint on them.
You can break up the handstand walk. Look, there's a few athletes that have broken it up in between red and just continued.
Oh, they're shorts and she has tattooed legs. I was like, what's going on with her leggings? That's crazy. All right, so under 3 minutes left. This is the first heat of the females.
Yeah, all in the shoulders, all in the traps, which is going to make the handstand walks feel a lot worse than they need to. And the quicker you can handstand walk, within the speed of it, the less time you're upside down, the fresher your shoulders are going to feel.
So 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, the less you can use your shoulders on the double under, the more you can just try and use your wrists as much as possible, the more you'll save for the handstand walk. So, like yesterday with the wall ball and the handstand push-up, you had a bit of redundancy in terms of like a press into a press. You got it here with the double under, especially the heavy double under and the handstand walk. A lot of shoulder fatigue. Sub 13 minutes.
Yeah, 12:57. So handstand walk up, handstand walk back, and then run to the finish line. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that girl in the red in the center of your screen failed before the red line, had to go back to the start.
So we've got a little bit of inconsistency going on. Or
I think I must have misseen what I thought I saw with the white line.
I guess you can tell by the athletes' finish positions that it is a fairly demanding workout. I think the important thing is to understand, like with CrossFit and fitness competitions, which are multi-event throughout the weekend, having sustainability over the 3 days is also a massive component of that fitness as well, which I don't think some people take too much account into.
My wife just texted me and said the kids are eating their breakfast and watching me. So hello,
Please no
Sloan and Bonnie.
swearing.
Never.
What did you have for breakfast today?
Greek yogurt and a bit of fruit.
Yeah.
Our breakfast included in the hotel. I didn't realize that
No.
this morning. Yeah, didn't eat breakfast yesterday. We had barbecue.
Fascinating.
We had barbecue at like 10 a.m.
I mean, I think the people at home, French breakfast is very much French breakfast. A couple of cold meats, cheese, lots of pastry.
I don't understand what's happening. So they are using the white lines because there's two athletes who are after coming down the white line. But that girl in the red top stopped short of the red line the last time and ran all the way back. Oh, I don't know. Maybe she was just finished.
Well, it's a no rep. We'll have to drag her back. Yeah, which would be 20 meters
It looked like Holly Tynan was running.
to finish.
She must have been because she's not using GHD. So it'll be cap plus 0 then, wouldn't it?
Depends how many reps she had left, but if she was
She
going to
looked like she
finish,
was
it
running
would,
for the finish line.
it'd
I
be
just didn't
generally
make
plus
it.
1.
Okay. Yeah, so forearms.
Forearms off the double unders. But again, they just don't get a chance to recover with a handstand walk in between. Heat 1 done.
Speaking of, you can win $500. I'll show you. Don't judge me for my picks because with the benefit of hindsight, they're not good. So you pick who you think, this is the Heat 1 app, you pick who you think is going to qualify where or finish where for your top 10. And it shows you like all the athletes. And then you just pick and you place them where they are. And then you can also do, I actually think I forgot to do this. So you can pick who's going to win what event.
What's gambling?
Yeah, well, gambling, but with no money. As in, you can win 500.
Safe
The prize,
gambling.
whoever finishes first in the league gets a prize, but you can't say, "Oh, Andy, I bet you 200 quid or whatever." You can't stake money on it.
That's quite cool. Who have you got? Have you got anyone in for the snatch?
No, I'll put someone in now, will I? I'll put someone in. No, I can't put someone in for this. It's too late. What's the
Holly,
snatch? 5.
your third year officially at semi-finals. I know you did the semi-finals online last weekend. Great solid performance there in that event, and you pushed yourself up to 23rd, I think, coming into day 2, so right in the centre of the field. Talk me through how you're feeling in day 2 here at the French Throwdown.
After yesterday, I was pretty disappointed. Nothing went my way. I'm way off my times in training, but I came in a little bit ill, so I'm just trying to get myself as best I can for the weekend and try and climb up the leaderboard as much as I can.
And I saw that last weekend you gave Heavy Isabel a great shot. You've got that one coming up again. How does it feel doing that twice in 2 weeks?
This is more like my 4th time doing it in the space of 3 weeks, but I'm looking forward to a heavy barbell. It's kind of always in my favor, and I know if I just stick to my plan and don't miss any reps, I can be a good shot on this one.
You're a great athlete and a real ambassador for people from Ireland and the UK. I know you train in CrossFit Aberdeen and you're a coach there. How does it feel to have the guys in the crowd supporting you here at the French Throwdown?
Oh, it's ace. It's like they're training with me every day. There's people coming in off work, coming in after work, before work to come and jump in my session. So this is what gets me here. I need people to push me. So it is what the community is unbelievable.
We love seeing you here. Good luck for the rest of the weekend. Thanks, Holly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Holly Tynan, Rob Lawson coach, sir. He's on seminar staff with you guys, isn't he? Good guy.
He is. Drossard Aberdeen. Yeah, he's also from Swansea. There's 3 of us actually, me, Andy, Rob, Matt. 4 of us from Swansea.
Are you from Swansea? Your gym's in Cardiff, isn't it?
He basically made it out of Swansea.
Does everyone just leave Johnny? Is that what happens?
Wow.
Me and Matt left. Rob left, playing rugby.
We all played rugby as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Fairly decent standards.
All right, so here's your listings or your lane assignments for the last heat of women. Taylor Howe, lane 7. Lucy, lane 9. Leah Starn, she's your current leader in lane 10. Joanna Skendaj is in second place in lane 11. So those 2 central lanes. Just remains to be seen if they can keep it up for the rest of the weekend. But Lucy McGonigal made a big charge yesterday and she kind of seen the good spirits and stuff. You got Claudia Luck is... We actually have the standings here, thanks to Barclaydale.
Straight arms with these heavy rope double unders is going to be not the way to go. Slight little bend in the elbows, more of the wrists. And relaxed as possible then for the handstand walk.
So Leah Starn is on 246. Joanna Skendaj is on 238. Lucy McGonigal is in third on 222. The 3 of those can qualify for the games because the 3 of them have done the Open and don't have a ticket. And then Elisa Fuliano's 2 points behind Lucy, can't go to the games, but can obviously like podium or win or whatever. Miriam von Rohr is 2 points behind Elisa. And then Claudia Dluck is whatever 18 plus 8 is behind Mirham, who can also go to the games. So it's like it's pretty tight and a lot to play for. And it seemed like that first workout, everyone has had one workout with a lot of damage control basically. So Mirham, yes, with handstand push-ups, Lucy and Claudia and Elisa Fuliano with the first workout. So now it's the field is kind of steadying out a little bit. And I think so. And she also destroyed the handstand push-ups yesterday.
Yeah, I think the first 2 workouts, there never going to be much separation from the ski to the row, from the ski to the bike to the rower. Not much separation in the second workout because it was super short sprint. But yesterday's workout and today's workout, I think you'll see more of a spread across the field.
Lucy looked like she was first to GHDs.
Yeah, Lucy's first off the GHDs. 60 unbroken here. A little rest at the top if they need it.
Hey, you know, she went to Nashville and was with Proven and like Tia, Shane, those guys about a year ago. I think it was in the lead up to the age group games. And what I've heard anecdotally is that Shane Orr saw her move and work out. I was like, I want to coach her. That's pretty high praise.
It's incredibly high praise. So with these athletes, Johnny, do you think they're taking volume to around about 200 plus a week on a GHD sit-ups? Just to build that capacity.
I think the GHD transfers quite well to other things like a toes to bar. So yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it? What was Rich doing? 150 GHDs.
And Mayhem is programming basically the entire semi-final. So if you weren't doing it, GHDs, you were in trouble when that was announced. So we got a 15-minute time cap. The clock is wrong because it wasn't started on time. So they've been working for
French
about...
time?
Yeah.
Or Southern European time?
What would you say, about 4 minutes in or so? 3.5 minutes in? They might update the clock. Oh, there we go. 3:30. Oh, wow. That's pretty bang on. That's my little internal daily clock there. So Lucy McGonigal is still leading the field. She's putting on a bit of a clinic on this. Oh, she's got that kind of stanky leg there. Claudia Luck second off. Wow, she's speedy on the hands.
Yeah.
I think did Lucy fail? So yeah,
it's
Lucy
fine.
had the same confusion we had basically. Of She
Yeah.
went back to the start, the judge called her back. No, it's just a white line. So Claudia Luck has a lead now. So Claudia Luck has about a, what do you call it, 1 rep lead, I guess.
This is where it's worth just taking that extra little fraction of a breather and then getting back up to it. Specifically now, this is the second set of handstand walks.
Yeah, you can see the difference in capability there between Claudia and Lucy in that Claudia literally came down, kicked up, went. Lucy had to just take a few seconds. But hopefully here and on the toes to bar.
That's a nice relaxed kind of style there. Lovely.
There's Elisa Fuliano picking up her double unders too. So you got Lucy, Claudia Luck and Elisa Fuliano all on the double unders. And Joanna as well. What was her time to beat? 2:56? 12:56? Or 12:54? 12:57, I think.
That's double under skin stuff. That's great. So this middle set's 90 as well, is that right?
And after this is toes to bar.
Yeah, 60. What do you reckon they'll be breaking that up in? I think big set, 15, 20?
It's hard to say because with the handstand walk is obviously quite tough on the midline. They've just done 60 GHDs. Their grip is going to be getting fatigued now from the double under, the heavy double under. So they could be limited by grip, they could be limited by midline, probably a mix of both. But I would say the toes to bar now can take a big chunk of time if they do too much of a big set at the start. Because if they go too big, they're not going to recover in time. So I would say smaller sets and try and chip away a little bit more. Save the grip, save the midline, because they've still got a load of double unders and handstand walks to do after it. But we'll see. I think we'll see a bit of a separation here now on the toes to bar.
So Elisa Fuliano was first to toes to bar. She went up a lot of time. Was she? Okay. Just gonna screw myself then. So you got, Lisa Fuliano, Lucy McGonigal, Claudia Luck, and someone down the far right as well. I'm not saying they're a far right person, but they're on the far right. That's true. You see those different styles of double unders, like you're always taught. Like I remember when I was in my affiliate, and the general advice was that double under should like almost feel like recovery. Like you should be so relaxed when you're doing it. Like you will be under pressure, but you shouldn't be like all tense and like gurning the whole way through it. When you see, like, say Elisa was on her double unders and her whole body was tense, will that come into play later on at all or no?
Yeah, because with the handstand walk, it's going to make the handstand walk feel much worse, and you're going to go slower. The double under is just jumping on the balls of your feet, and then the rest of it's in the wrist. With the heavy rope, you have to use your shoulders a little bit more. But the more you keep it in the wrist and relax everything else, the easier everything else feels.
It's movement which requires athleticism as well. And what I mean by that is that you can see that there's people who've trained really hard to get the double unders, and then there's those who just pick up the rope and just like, yeah, I got this. That more relaxed style, the efficiency and stuff like that. And I think that's the thing. It's like when you have an efficient style, obviously it allows you to be a little bit more balanced across all the different exercises then.
It looks like the girls kind of took off a big chunk, and then smaller sets have kind of happened thereafter. So with Claudia Luck was the first of the toes to bar. Lucy McGonigal and Elisa Fuliano were just behind her. Claudia seems to be making up ground. Anytime she gets the handstand walk, she just seems to pull away. So
well, we'll see now, because whoever gets off the poster bar first is going to be back onto the handstand walk, and then so Claudia Gluck is onto the handstand walk now. So again, if we get a slightly better angle. You can see if Lucy's on there as well. This just comes down to now holding out, maybe even playing a little bit. So she's at the front now. She can just have a quick look, see where she's at, see where people are coming, and then get back into it.
I mean, she's obviously incredibly confident that she just dropped down off the bar, walked straight over, kicked up, and did the same the other end.
Yeah.
So, like, no one's going to catch her if she keeps this up.
Yes, if she keeps this up. And then,
so Elisa Fuliano is also on her handstand walk. No sign of Lucy yet. I don't see a hand in the air either.
that toast, maybe the
another
toast
break.
bar, maybe there's been a slight hand tear or something like that.
So Elisa Fuliano Claudia Luck heading back to her rope.
Casual.
Yeah, no biggie. She's got about a 2-length lead, so she's going to get like 30, maybe 40 double unders in before Elisa gets back.
Just chip away now.
Yeah. So what is it Hinshaw calls this? Snapping the band. You know, you just tell the people behind you, just don't bother. You're not going to catch me. Just stay where you are. Like, imagine how disheartening that is for Fuliano coming back and you hear Luck's judge say 60.
Well done. The person at the top end is in second place currently. So again, it's just that management fatigue now on the double unders. Who's that on the right hand side?
No idea. Brian Friend would know who it is. There's Elise Fuliano's on the double unders as well. I think Lucy McGonigal was finishing. She should be on her last length of handstand walk now.
There she is, upside down on the other end.
Handstand walks actually looks much better this time than the last round, interestingly.
Be interesting to see just what happened on the toaster bar, because she was out there. Whether it was big set too soon, whether it was a little bit fatigue, or just trying to manage the best how she's feeling at this moment.
She could have just been snookered out the GHD as well, and just
maybe the GHD caught her out. Maybe too many reps. It's hard to see from the angles we have.
There's the moistest woman in CrossFit, Andrea Moistus. So Andrea Moistus and Claudia Luck. Claudia didn't see her.
Oh, she went to.
That's
Claudia-
twice that's happened.
Claudia and Andrea both running for the finish line. Andrea knew she was in a race. Claudia didn't. And Claudia was about to throw her hands up celebrating, and Andrea crossed
Ron
it before
pinched
her.
one yesterday, right? And the guys.
I mean, but completely understandable. You're looking at Fuliano thinking I'm miles ahead of you, thinking that's your only competition. You just don't look at the far lane. So Andrea Moistus takes first, Claudia Luck takes second. We still have about 60 seconds to the first time in heat one.
We're still ahead of the first heat. So
Third place is up for grabs.
still some good finishing spots here.
Someone commented on the video yesterday and said, great commentary, but every time you say third, I think you're saying turd. And I replied and I said, no, I am saying turd. So Lucy is on her last set of double unders. So is Fuliano. So is Leah Starren. So is Skandaj. Like, pretty much everyone now is heading. There's another athlete coming across. Cannot see who that is.
Taylor.
Swansea.
Yeah, another Swansea. Well, Swansea needs the same sort of area. Close enough.
Another one who left. Another one who left, Johnny. Everyone just leaves Swansea. Taylor left Swansea, didn't she? It's a trend. There's a common denominator. One guy stayed, everyone else left.
Well, how can you compete with 179, right?
Yeah, true. So 13:56, so that's going to be a 5th and a 6th, because our first place from Heat 1 is going to factor in here. I see Fuliano, Skandaj all across the line. I'm guessing Lucy. We didn't see Lucy, but I'm guessing she crossed. There's Mirham von Rohr.
She's the lady that won the Open, right?
Yeah. A great woman to do wall balls. Not so much on the strict wall facing handstand push-ups. And she found out to her own demise yesterday. So just under 1 minute left. Everybody seems to be on their last set of double unders that's still out there. So it's just about either chipping away as many reps as you possibly can or finish it out, one or the other. 30 seconds.
Double under fails.
15 seconds to go. It's Connie Eastby, isn't it?
Yeah.
And times another athlete running for. It's kind of annoying, isn't it, that you're running for the finish line. You're like, but I'm closer than the last girl was, but we're on the same score.
Now, do you think there's going to be much of a time difference between the male and the female competitors? It's body weight exercise. They've got larger body masses to move with the male, etc.
Yeah.
Women are generally known as being, better at endurance or with muscular endurance.
Well, we said that yesterday with the handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
And I think the girls were faster. On average.
We'll probably see some of the similar sort of times. Maybe more guys get capped, I don't know.
Yeah.
But is the weight of the skipping rope the same for both?
As far as I
men and
know,
women?
yeah.
It's just the length, isn't it, that
It's
changes?
just the length, okay. So that, might not necessarily have as much of a fatiguing effect.
Have a little in for you, Claudia. Look.
Claudia, you are no stranger to the French Throwdown or semi-final events. You qualified last year from the French Throwdown for your first CrossFit Games. How badly do you want to get back to the Games here in 2025?
Yeah, I thought the first time was like the most important, and I think it is. But I think I just want it even more now because I know what it is, and I just want to prove to myself that I belong and that I'm just going nowhere.
And you started yesterday a little slow, but really ended up fast, and you finished 6th on the leaderboard coming into day 2. I know this event would have been one that you were really keen to get into. It was a fantastic performance. It just looks like unofficially you were beaten over the line by a millisecond. How did you strategize this event going in?
Yeah, I think I had my plans, and the good thing about competition is that you have a game plan, but then you also adjust. So I think I adjusted a bit more on the double enders, but I'm a bit pissed at myself for not sprinting a bit faster, but that's competition, right?
And everybody loves seeing you here at the French Throwdown. What does it mean to you to be here in the French crowd at the French Throwdown for that second year? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it means the world, and actually my family, they're just down there. They're like 15. Some came from Norway as well, so it's just the best when I can compete in front of my crowd.
Well, we are excited to see you perform over the next 2 days. Good luck, and let's hope we get that ticket to the CrossFit Games 2025.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, that's Claudia Luck. Fan favorite, a home favorite. There she is on the poster. She said there she was annoyed. You guys couldn't hear it, but she said she was annoyed that she didn't sprint to the finish line. But like, you're not going to look all the way down there. Like, you can be forgiven for that, I guess.
Yeah. And it was the end lane, right? But
Yeah.
like Andy said before, the handstand walk, have a little look left, have a little look right, see if anyone's around.
It is kind of like, it's hard to keep track, especially in a workout like that, and you're doing
When there's
4
multiple
lengths
sets
of
double unders
yeah,
as well, yeah.
and it's 20 athletes. You know, it's not like it's a heat of 10 and it's easy to see all the way across. So here's the standings for the guys. Branislav Alenkovic, 256. Nika Maradze, 252. Moritz Fiebig, 232. Moritz already has a ticket to the Games. The other guys don't. Branislav Alenkovic actually is qualified for the age group games, and his goal last year was qualify for the age group games and qualify for the CrossFit Games, and he fell short of CrossFit Games. I think he finished like 13th or 23rd or something in Europe, because wasn't there like 11 spots or 12 spots back in the good old days. So yeah, if he does that, that's pretty impressive if he qualified for both age group and individual. Luke Parker, incidentally, needs to finish an average of 6 or better places ahead of Bronislav Milenkovic in every remaining workout to have any chance of qualifying for the CrossFit Games.
Some serious stats there.
So I'm saying there's a chance.
Yeah, until the snatch workout next.
Yeah, Braun said yesterday he did 4:10 at Wadland Fest, and he wants to go under 4 for Isabel
I
today.
think the top time is just under 4, right? But we've seen
I think it's 3.
Jeff Adler was 3, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. Low 3s?
Adler 3:19, Nick Matthew 3:53, Guy 3:58, and then Nick Matthew and Mayhem 4:03.
Was it 3:19?
3:19, yeah. Yeah. Adrian Mundweiler says hello. Do you want to say hello back?
He's still going unbroken on the wall balls.
Hello, Wendy.
Say that again. Yeah, when we looked at the program for this, Mundweiler said, I'd go unbroken or almost unbroken on the wall balls. And I was like, so what's almost unbroken? Like 99 and 1? He's like, no, the other way, 1 and then 99.
Oh, slow. These legs. But then, who knows? It might be a good little tactic.
Could be a strategy.
I just like the movements when they're aesthetically pleasing as well. You know? There we are. Some
Wow,
great
he
speed
is
going on.
hammering through them.
But again, we don't know if that's going to... Well, we'll see right until the end. That was talks about that accumulation, right?
If you're doing this and like handstand walks, say, it's not really enough handstand walks to really have a large effect on anyone, is it? Like, I mean, even if you're not great at handstand walks, you can get through those legs maybe with a little bit of extra rest. But like, there's no point sending it on the GHD to try and make up time to save somewhere else.
Well, there's no point in sending in the GHD to save yourself a couple of seconds if you really think about it. Because, you know, it's one of those exercises which then a fairly general pace is going to be similar throughout. Obviously, some of the taller athletes are going to find it a little bit more challenging just in terms of being stronger, but easier in the range of motion. But if you go all out on it, it's like anything, right? It's like you're pushing hard early. It's how long can you last after that? Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I don't do enough of them to.
I'm guessing there's no standard on the GHD here either. Just
with,
looking at the variance of what people are doing.
I think with this, what's this Portuguese guy's name? I'm assuming he's Portuguese because he's got the headband.
Or a big fan, one or the other, yeah.
Yeah. Started off with the straight legs, so the hips are in that position, and then we'd like use the legs to pull him up as well. Seems to be some good speed on the handstand walks here.
Someone made a point in the live chat and said those times aren't comparable because Jeff did it in the spot and the guys at Mayhem had to move their bar forwards, and it's like it didn't take him 40 seconds. It wouldn't have taken him 40 seconds to move his bar forward though. Nick Matthew did go faster in affiliate though.
But with moving that bar up, unfortunately it gives you that time to sort of like contemplate not going again. Whereas in the spot you're like, here we go.
So Nick Matthew was 10 seconds faster in the affiliate than he was at Mayhem.
Yeah, I think if you move the bar even a couple of feet forward after reset, you do that 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
15 seconds, 20 seconds gone, you wouldn't make up on a barbell. Oh.
acknowledging the fact of what acknowledging the fact what a 225 Isabel is. You know, I think it first came when we saw a video of Rich Froning doing it, and it's like, holy shit, this sport has moved on. And now, you know, there's a plethora of athletes doing it, and they're powering it as well, right?
Yeah.
You know, the guys at the top end just seem to be getting fitter, faster, stronger. Whether that's better athletes coming into the sport now, or whether it's just, you know, a little bit more intelligent programming rather than just, you know, throwing the kitchen sink at it.
Sometimes it's pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter how hard I train, these physiques, you know.
The deck,
abs that can cut glass.
the deck is loaded. Like it's not. The house always wins. So Luke Parker first on at the toast bar. He really needs to do incredibly well at this event. It should be good. I mean, Mayhem. He's probably doing a hell of a lot of GHDs.
Yeah.
You won't appreciate me saying a hell of a lot.
This is probably their little cool down workout.
And Aldous Upanik's another Mayhem athlete, both of them first on the toast bar. I mean, that's not a coincidence, surely.
Are you suggesting something?
That they just do a lot of GHDs.
Do a lot of GHDs, yeah.
Have you ever seen where Aldous trains? I don't know if he still does, but it was like it looked like a supplement warehouse with a gym in it, and it was just like a massive concrete building with all shelves of like stuff in it.
Latvia, right?
Yeah.
I've seen that old video of Miko doing an open workout in the old Rogues. The old Rogue, basically a front ladder, thruster chest. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
So he's doing one of the open workouts in an old Rogue warehouse in Europe somewhere. No music on. And he's just in silence doing thrusters and burpees. Top score in the world, I think. Yeah, it's like a kip-in chest to bar on it, basically. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth something to go back and watch. Yeah. And then counted and finish, isn't it?
Anything in Finnish just sounds like they're actually shouting at each other.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's upset him. No, he's just counting for him. Says I love him actually. You can expect to see slightly bigger sets here, I guess. The dudes. But again, at what cost? At what price?
You know what would be a great thing for people to do while they're watching this?
Have a cup of tea.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, if you subscribe.
One up or coffee pot?
No, to this. Forget he won up. But no, if people subscribe to this, it does make a big difference.
Who's that back on the double unders?
It looks like Aldous.
Yeah. Grip selection would be really important on this one as well. You can just get those extra sticky grips just to sort of hang yourself there as well.
Those once illegal, now legal frog grips. People can use CPW16 for a discount on that, you know, frog grips. Incidentally, this workout is sponsored by Velites.
Which are not illegal.
No, either are frog grips anymore. Yeah. You know, Velites patented or, you know, invented the chemical to put on the grips that make them chalkless.
Oh, wow.
But they couldn't copyright it because it's a chemical, or I don't know what the logic was anyway, but he said they couldn't copyright it. So then within about a month, frog grips and every other grip company were like, oh, we're doing chalkless grips now. I guess you have to have like a rising tides mentality about that, don't you?
Yeah. I quite like the hybrid ones. I think the chalkless ones is specifically within your affiliate. I don't really want to be that guy walking out with my golf towel to wipe down the bath, or, you know, to go head to head with a couple of grandmothers, mothers, you know. I know Johnny likes to crush their dreams in his gym, etc. But
I'm just honest.
That time I went to 179, he was standing over an 80-year-old woman shouting intensity over and over again at him. Intensity!
Yeah, Luke Parker looking good on the double unders, to be fair, nice and efficient.
Yeah. So
This last set of double unders.
This is decently fast, isn't it? 10 minutes?
Yeah, he's got quite a big lead as well, by the looks of it. Toaster bar again, look, there's still athletes on the toaster bar. That's the big separator, especially after the GHDs. That's where you're seeing most of the separation in the workout.
So I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Luke might be ahead of Aldous.
Yeah, it's hard to see from where we are, but he's there or thereabouts.
I guess the thing with the toaster bar is it's probably that, I guess, and the double unders with the easiest point to rest, because you can just drop off the bar.
It's easy point to rest, but it's also a movement that can disappear if you run out of capacity. If you do GHDs a lot, then that's going to be a big advantage in this workout. Luke's starting to struggle on his double unders. There we go. Yeah.
So Luke Parker, 10:58. He really needed that. Aldous Upanix also needed that. 11:04.
I think he passed him on the double unders, did he?
I think he did. No, Aldous came back. I think it was a handstand walk. Aldous came back to the handstand walk, and Luke was already doing double unders. So I think Luke probably just kicked up faster and went more aggressively, maybe.
Yeah, Mayhem do a lot of workouts like this. And then 2 Mayhem athletes, top 2 in this heat.
How do you feel about training camps doing programming for events?
I mean, as long as the programming is well-rounded,
yeah,
it sort of is what it is.
It's easy to argue now after this, oh, that favours Mayhem athletes, but the two of them are in the first heat and they're both in low 20s.
Well, the goal of any training program is to make the athletes fit and have a well-rounded level of fitness. And as long as the programming is testing for a well-rounded fitness, then it doesn't really matter who programs it. Once you start programming for biasing, so like you maybe have too much weightlifting, not enough gymnastics, and maybe that training camp would program a lot of weightlifting, then you could have an issue. But I think it's a well-rounded test. The workout's a good class of CrossFit, so I don't think it favours any particular camp. It's just going to favour the athletes that are well-rounded.
Is there any running in the event?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's going to be lunges, right? Yeah. Overhead lunging. Again, there's a slightly greater margin for error, right? Doing the walking lunge.
So just under 2 minutes left. Most of the athletes seem to be on the double unders in the last set. Oh, 2 doing toast bar. Call that commentator's curse, don't they?
Yeah. There's no chance of those guys doing it in 90 seconds, I believe. But happy to prove them wrong.
That's a big dude.
Yes. Pretty god. I'm pretty sure I've seen a poster up my wife's wardrobe, something like that.
So 60 seconds to go.
I mean, that guy's still got his shirt on. He must love the heat.
Or he's contractually obliged.
Great hair as well.
.30 seconds to go.
Come on, boys. 30 seconds. Let's just do it.
I don't even see a hand for this guy, so no idea where he is. Okay, here we go. Got 15 seconds. Buddy, come on. He's got that sweater piss going on as well. I wonder how his pelvic floor has held out over this. I think he just got in there, did he?
Oh, fair dues.
So Luke Parker first, Ola Zubanek second, and Luke Parker needs Bronislav Alenkovic to not finish above 7th to go into the next event with any semblance of hope, which are going to be destroyed with heavy Isabel anyway, but still, it's nice to dream. Over under on mentions of God in the post-race interview here. I reckon we get 3. I think we get 3. No, he will.
It's a good workout.
Here we go.
Yeah, enjoyable. Program on Monday at the gym.
We're joined here by Luke Parker, the winner of this heat of elite men in event number 4, all the way from CrossFit Mayhem back there in Cookville. 2 times CrossFit Games athlete, 3 times CrossFit Games athlete, team, 2 individual, and semi-finals last weekend in Mayhem. How is it different here being on the competition floor for your semi-finals event now?
Well, first of all, I just have to say I'm honored to be in France and to be the only American athlete in this field. I love the energy. I've been staying in Montpellier and the people are so great. They're so nice. They call it the city of sunshine for France because it's southern France, close to the Mediterranean, a lot of sunshine, warmer weather. But I'd say the people are the city of sunshine here in Montpellier. I love it here. But I love the energy, this atmosphere in the Sud de France arena is incredible. But yeah, I'd also want to give a shout out to my family back at home. I got some work to do on the leaderboard to make America, my country, proud. And yeah, win or lose, God is always good.
I'm absolutely sure that they'll all be glued to the television watching your performances. And I know recently you became a father. How does it feel to be a family man now as a competitive athlete on the competition floor? And why does that change things for you?
Yeah, it's changed a lot for me. It's given me more motivation and changed my perspective. Like, before I had a son, which, by the way, I got an 8-month-old son, I just was focused on CrossFit. Now I'm more focused on what's next after CrossFit, my family. So it definitely shifts, looking 10 years out instead of 10 days out. So it's been great. It's been a blessing, and I'm super grateful.
And I know that you spend a lot of your time trying to inspire others to reach their full potential. You've got your wife, Jennifer, here supporting you in the crowd. Anything else you'd like to add to your experience here at the French Throwdown 2025?
I'll give my wife a shout out. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. I don't know if you guys celebrate that in France, but shout out to all the moms. Being a father for the first time, you moms do so much, and we're so grateful for you guys, because us men and our children would never be where they are without you moms. So shout out moms, love y'all.
Good luck on the rest of your weekend.
Je t'aime.
Allez.
All right, so one mention of God. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for thinking it was 3. I really thought when she said inspiration that he was going to crack one out. And when he said a mention of God,
Yeah, means a bit different.
a mention of the big guy, I'd have more opportunities. So yeah, he referenced himself there. He said, I have a lot of work to do. And he does.
Tom, what do you know about the Nika from Georgia?
Nothing. He's always thereabouts with European events. Like, I know Brian Friend was talking about him about a year ago, of like this guy who's really good and, you know, everyone needs to keep an eye on him and stuff. He hasn't really done it. So this seems like his chance.
How did you do in the semis?
Last year, I think he was like 5 out or something.
Yeah.
But he's won a lot of those, you know, like, I don't know if it's actually this event, but like athletes run on those type of events, like that level of event.
Oh,
Jeez, Callum Clemens is absolutely flying through them.
Well, Vlites, Spanish equipment manufacturer. Do you know what I mean? This is what we mentioned about the girls practicing with the rope.
He's probably one of the only ones that can pronounce it right as well.
Vlites. It's Phil Boy Peters. picking up.
How many double unders is it?
90 each set.
Wow. So 90 heavy rope double unders completed in under 60 seconds for over half the field there. If I had to do 90 regular double unders, I'd be doing that thing, you know, where you drop the handle and pretend you dropped it and then struggle to pick it up just so you have an extra like 3 seconds to, yeah. That's the man you mentioned. Or as I've been referring to him, Jorge Fernandez's younger brother. Morris Fiebig already has a ticket to the games. Doesn't even need to be here, but €12,000 is a nice little cherry on top, isn't it? It's not Mother's Day here tomorrow, is it? Like for us.
It's in America, right?
Yeah, 'cause Luke said it there. He said, shout out to all the moms. But yeah, I don't think it's Mother's Day here.
Some of these GHD techniques are wild, aren't they?
Yeah, that was a froggish technique there, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, if it gets moving,
Yeah, when you're in competition, it doesn't matter, is it? You've just got to get the work done as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Do you think there should be a standard?
I think you should have to have your hips slightly off the back of the GHD.
But they are.
Yeah, so maybe like and then you create like this a big grey area about what you can do and what you can, and people always try and get around it.
One of the guys had a great one. Bryson Del Monte said, if there's a sweat mark from your back on the pads, no rep.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you keep an eye on that after the first rep, because if the sweat's there, it's not going to go away.
You just get people just rubbing it on as they get off there.
There definitely seems to be a newer technique because of the newer standard where it's like the hips are off the pad, they're basically in a sit-up.
And then
the pads come off the GHD.
No. Who's that, Moritz? I didn't see what lane that was. No, it's too far away to be Moritz.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
What will they do now? There's your boy. What flag is that? Georgian, isn't it? The white with the red cross? So 3 minutes 40 on the clock, 15-minute time cap. They have another couple of lengths, 3 lengths each of this handstand walk and then the back, the double unders, and then toes to bar. Callum Clements has a bit of ground to make up, and he's doing what he needs to do, yeah. Nicky looks like he's going to win this, though. If he keeps this up, he's back to the double unders first. Callum Clements is right behind him. I'd say he has about a 3-rep lead on Callum, maybe. They're like boxing shorts, aren't they? Yeah. And the white shoes, white socks. He looks like he's just boxing. Oh, Callum's in trouble. He was flying through the double unders at the start as well.
Yeah, he looks relaxed though once he gets into his rhythm. By the toes to bar as well, we'll see the pack separate, I think. It's relatively tight up until this point on the previous heats. It's a fast heat, yeah.
Kevin Doyle is asking in the chat, does sitting forward on the GHD actually make it easier?
Yes, it would allow you just to pull yourself up easier with your feet. Like if you're using it as a training stimulus, you would have your hips off the back and use your legs to bring you up. So it's a bit of a different
you
thing
do
in
that, isn't it? That
competition.
like knee snap.
You extend the knees to use the hip flexors, basically. But in a competition, it's just like touch the floor, touch the pad. So you're going to find
shortcuts.
The shortest, quickest, easiest way to do it. You're not trying to train the abs as much.
If you have someone, so you and I are doing GHDs next to each other, and you're off the back, touching the floor, touching the pad, and I'm sitting on top, touching the floor, touching the pad, and he's sitting in front of the pad, touching the floor, touching the pad, like sliding back and forth. Percentage-wise, if you're at 100% difficulty, where are we?
The difficulty is not the issue. It's the range of motion of the midline and how much stress it puts on your lower back.
Okay.
So one of the reasons we have the hips off the back for a training stimulus, if you like, is it allows the trunk to extend without hyperextending the lower back. But you can imagine if you're sat right on top of the pads or even in front and you're trying to get all the way down to the floor, you're going to have to flex your back way more, extend your back way more. So it's just more of a safety thing for training stimulus. And in competition, it's not something as an individual, if they can get away with being on top of the pads. And Rich Froning sits on top of the pad. He still does them the way we would do them in a training stimulus. Personal preference plays a role as well. But these are, some of the reps are wildly different to what we would see if you were trying to train the midline as efficiently as possible versus trying to meet the standards of the competition.
It was funny yesterday. I said earlier on, Seth Page was talking about GHDs on the World Fitness Project podcast, and he said, the GHDs are one of the most contentious issues in the functional fitness. He caught himself mid-sentence and didn't say CrossFit. I found it very entertaining. Seth's good though; he's a good guy.
They're a nice teal colour of Elite Days.
CPW 16 for Frog Rips discount.
Technique has taken it back to
Nick-
early CrossFit. I remember my first pair of CrossFit board shorts were kind of similar to that. Yeah. I had a pair of OP ones, Hurley ones actually. Yeah, Hurley board shorts. Yeah. Yeah, we got it.
Nika looks like the type of guy on a night out who just borrows cigarettes off people in the smoking area for the whole night.
He's got that Eastern European vibe going on. Yeah.
He'd show up in a retro Hertha Berlin shirt. Yeah. Oh, this? Yeah, it's just an yeah. It's just a 1992.
Either way, this is a great demonstration of how to execute this workout.
Yeah. So we're just over halfway through the time, and he just has these handstand walks, and then double unders, and then that's it. So he has a huge lead on the field. What was Luke Parker? 12:53, 10:53. Just like a ballerina.
But that, very, very good on the double unders, very good on the handstand walks. Quick on those GHDs, and then manage the sets really well on the toes to bar. I mean, this is a clear lead. It's a bit like Claudia Gluck. What he needs to do is just relax a little bit now, and then just start the push, right? Because we want to see Callum sort of sneaking it back in. Who else is back on there? Yeah.
I mean, he's got about a 40 rep lead here. And Callum seemed to maybe overreach a little bit on his first set of double unders because he was tripping a lot at the start of the second.
It's hard, isn't it, when you're in the top heat and everyone kicks off like a rocket at the start and people feel the need to just have to go at the keep pace. But you have to sort of stay in your lane and just worry about your own pacing. Otherwise, you can get dragged along.
You can also get overconfident and be like, yeah, I got this. Or in Callum's case, it's probably, I need to have this. I need to do well.
I need to get into the lead or whatever. Toes to bar take the biggest chunk of time, but the overwhelming majority of volume in the workout is the handstand walk and the double unders.
Oh, our camera dropped, but we're back on. We're on the little small camera, so we're okay.
We're on. He's in first. You just got to stay around about the leaders.
10:05. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
I think Braun is just thinking, I'm just going to stick around people either side of me and just...
EO. I'll find out. Callum's at that sort of stage now, I think everybody's had it in an affiliate at some point when you're doing a workout and you think I can catch them, and then they finish and you just slowly start giving up more and more. So currently Nika is only 4 points behind, so he's going to be in first after this surely. So he won the last event of yesterday and came 7th and 4th in the other two.
Callum Clemens across the line.
Yeah, he's in 10th, so he needed that. But you also have Luke Parker's time and Ola Suplik's time have now factored in as well. So, funnily enough, Luke is actually keeping it alive. He needed 6 places or better than Braun. Georgios Karavis struggling a bit there on the double unders. Here's Moritz Fiebig.
Is that a solid weekend so far?
Yeah, looks pretty impressive.
Well rounded.
Georgios Karavis is in 11:40. I heard Victor Hessinghoff's name. I'm guessing he came in too. Still got like 3 minutes to go here.
Yeah, and we got a big race on the double unders by the looks of it.
Ludwig Hansen in.
Forearms and shoulders trashed at this point.
Yeah.
Tell by the way they start piking, just using the shoulders more, just trying any way to get the rope around.
There's Braun. Definitely 6 places behind Luke, so conceivably Luke could go to the
He's got a
CrossFit Games.
chance.
Yeah. There's Guillaume Briand. He'd chat your wife up, wouldn't he? He looks like that sort of guy.
When was that?
22.
22, I would say.
I hear Philroy Peters' name. I'm guessing he came over.
Yeah, looks like he was on the double unders last time we saw.
There's Hispanchik, people are calling him, the long lost Panchik brother.
Where are they calling that in the chat?
Yeah, Barty Dale said there's Hispanchik.
Very cool.
So I think Luke Parker took second, Ola
I think-
Supplinis took third,
yeah, from
and then
what I can
Callum is
see, yeah.
fourth. I think.
Shoulders gone, lungs gone.
See the last guy on the floor? Yeah. Oh, that's Graham, isn't it?
The last there's a couple of guys that has that.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're closing in.
Yeah.
The sharks are coming in. There's blood in the water.
Coming in the craft.
The Cole Sagerism is coming out. Yeah.
This doesn't really happen anymore, right, in competitive CrossFit. It used to happen every single heat.
He's not even the last guy there. 60 seconds. But no one's looking at this guy. So look. Oh, okay, they're one over to
Yeah,
him
he's
now.
right in
I was
the
like,
end,
geez,
yeah.
a little circle around this guy.
What do you reckon they're saying to him?
Just give up. Quit. Go
Give up.
home. No one likes you.
This is the thing, right? They are there to support, but
They're
when
also
you're in,
competitors.
when you're in that moment, you're like, just go away. And that's the thing, right? It is your support. They are supporting, but at the same time, you're like, no.
I mean, that's the best case scenario, though, isn't it? That they come over to you,
Help.
they help, you finish it, and then you get that, like, oh, thanks, guys, versus failing, and then everyone's just like, oh, okay, and just awkwardly walks away.
I think I would rather that than everyone just sort of leave me out on the floor by myself.
Yeah. It'd be worse if you saw Braun picking up a skip rope and walking off. You'd be like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
cheers,
yeah.
mate.
Everyone starts taking down the signage from the event. I'd rather that. I'd rather it that way around.
I think it's more the order, like, based on the classes, etc. It's like, I think the cheering's a big one, right? But it's like anything. When people come into that close proximity, you're like, oh, yeah, it gets a bit claustrophobic. But yeah, out on the ground there, they need to get in close to give those words of encouragement, because that's what helps. Wicked.
Do you know who Guillaume Briand looks like?
Hold it.
I think we have an interview coming. We do. Nika.
Nika, first of
Oh, I
all,
wonder does he not speak English?
congratulations on the event win for event number 4 incredible speed. Second semi-finals for you. We saw you last year at the European semi-finals. This year you did an incredible performance in the Open, finishing 14th. You are one to watch. What has been your strategy coming into this event?
რა იყო შენი სტრატეგია? ამივენზე, ანუ სემიფინალებზე კარგად ვერ იყავიო და ამივენზეო, რა არის შენი სტრატეგია?
სემიფინალებზე გამოცდილება მოყდა. ეხა ამ ერთ წელიწადში ყველაფერი გავფოცე. ამივენზე ეს მოძრაობა ჩემი საუკეთესო მხარე იყო და ვეცადე რომ გამოვიყენებინა და გამოვიყენებინიც.
So, last semifinals was the first for him, and he did not have the experience. And this year, he have to do all the things together because he was a bit before here. It was a throwdown, and he was a little bit tired about the Open. So this year and this weekend, he will do everything to make the CrossFit Games.
Second into this event, number 4 on day 2, moving day. A great position to be in to punch your ticket to the CrossFit Games. How are you expecting the rest of the weekend to go and the rest of the events?
ანუ აი რას ფიქრობო CrossFit Games იმასეო რა ქვია ტიკეტზეო.
ფიქრობ უშანსოთ არ ვარ, ყველაფერს ვაკეთებ იმისთვის რომ გამომივიდეს. და ვფიქრობ დიდი შანსი მაქვს რომ დიდი შანსი მაქვს აქ მოხვედრის.
I think I have a chance to make the CrossFit Games, and I'm gonna do everything to make the CrossFit Games.
We're so excited to watch your journey, Nika. Congratulations on the event win, and we look forward to the rest of the weekend.
დიდი მადლობა რომ აქ ხარ და გილსო.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's it. We're going to be back in an hour and 15 minutes or so. Do I have a little ad to finish it off? Let's go. Oh, they're playing ads, so I can't play ads.
As it all spins and the world evolves, and